silent learner, whoever you are. So go silent learner. You can unmute yourself and you can ask a question.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. My question is about how do you have any tips on how we imagine Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala during Salah, in reference to this hadith, which is, like the concept of ihsan, when you talk about the fact that, you were, whatever you're doing it as if you are seeing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's easier to conceptualize, like, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is seeing you, but how do you get to that level? Like, and do you have any tips on, everyone has a different kind of way of doing it, but I'm interested in your thoughts.
Sure. Okay, good question. And it's a common question. So usually in this setting, I usually give this answer, which is that right now I cannot see any of you, but I am talking to you and engaging with you as if I see you. Now, I don't have to imagine anything specific about you. Like, in my mind, it doesn't involve me imagining like your, what you might look like or your features or anything like that, right? I don't need to imagine anything specific. I'm just sufficiently aware of your presence, and then engaging or talking to you in the same way that I would probably talk to you if we were in person. So if everybody who is here, you were in an auditorium or in a hall, for example, and I was speaking with you, I would probably not speak in a too dissimilar way. It would be probably quite similar in terms of body language and, just addressing you and talking to you and everything else. So I think there's something in that. For me, there's something in that, which is, I think there is a way to be in your salah in such a way that you express yourself and you articulate yourself, that if you were now to be literally in God's presence, literally in a manner that you could see him, and now you were told, now offer your units of prayer, that your prayer wouldn't be much different. You understand? So think about that. The way I would do it is think about that. Just think about the fact that, let's say that I would be in the hereafter, okay? And now I'm in the presence of Allah, and I can see him. And obviously, none of us can picture exactly what that is, right? And neither should any of us picture what that is. So none of us should have an image, right? Or any kind of image in mind. We're not looking for an image in mind, right? I think it's something where it's possible to achieve that level of presence or awareness without a specific image coming to mind. Some people talk sometimes about, they imagine sort of in Arabic, the word Allah, right? Just sort of on the horizon, right? In their mind's eye, for example. And they picture something like that, just almost the text of it. People have these different things. Personally, I don't think those things are necessary. I think the key is, and this is why I emphasize this a lot through the program, which is just really directing your words, really directing your words. And I think actually, when you intensify your awareness of him observing you and listening to you, and you then communicating with him in such a way that reflects your conviction that he is listening to you and that you are being heard and that your expressions are landing, if you like, and conveying meaning, then I think you're already doing it, you see. You're already worshiping him as though you see him, because you are humbled before his presence, and therefore you express yourself in a certain way. You are conscious of his presence and thinking about his grandeur and his awe and his majesty, and therefore you move in a certain way. You pace yourself in a certain way. So all of these things are worshiping him as though you see him. Because if you were to literally be in his presence in a way that you could have no doubt about that, you would offer your prayer in a very similar way. So it's a good question. It's an important question, but it's one which I think, you're not trying, the point is, the irony of the response in a way is that you're not trying to visualize something specific. No one can say that. And that's why I suppose it says, as though you see him, كَأَنَّكَ تَرَاهُ, in that narration that you referred to, كَأَنَّكَ تَرَاهُ, as though you see him, because what would that be like? So all it takes is just imagine, what would that be like if I could literally see my Lord? Meaning I've no doubt about his presence, no doubt about his reality, his existence, and no doubt about the fact that that these words, right, these words have a weight and meaning, and that they are appropriate. And what would my positions be like? Like, how would I hold my prostration? How would I hold my, how would I recite? How would I, be in my bowing position? When I come up from the bowing position and I'm praising my Lord, how would I do that? You see? So it effectively brings about those characteristics in the prayer that suggest that yes, this servant really really believes, right, that they are engaging with their Lord and is worshipping them as though they see him. Yeah, Allah knows best. I think that's probably what I have to say about that.